Welcome to another video here on the Primetime channel that I have, where we talk about how to make age 50 to 75 the best years of your life. So I'm getting a lot of calls from friends and other people right now who are looking for jobs over age 50, especially those who are closer to age 60. And a lot of people are finding a really rough time. I have a couple of friends right now who've been out of work for a long time. They can't get any leads. They can't get anybody calling them back. And there's a couple of reasons for this. The economy right now, it's a little unstable. Yeah, a lot of people want to talk about how strong it is, and we can look at things like the stock market and say that, but there've been a lot of layoffs. Hiring has slowed way down. And if you're in that age group, ageism is a real thing. I talked to a professional headhunter, a career placement person, and he said that never before in 30 years plus of doing that business has he seen so many companies that are outwardly saying to him, we don't want to interview anybody over the age of 40 for any important jobs. Now, first of all, I think that is actually against like the law to tell your headhunter that you want to age discriminate against people, but they're doing it. And if he sends them people that are in that age range, they're just not taking the interview. So there is that problem as well. But I also know some people who've gotten great jobs in technology and in other sectors where you're like, wow, dude, you're 62 years old. How did you land a job like that? And we've talked about what it is. And so I have 4 tips. There's really 3 tips plus an important bonus tip that I'm going to share with you. So number one is you have to lead with your relevance. If you're in your 50s or early 60s and you have all of this experience, that is worth something. However, some people might look at it as, oh, you're out of touch because you're set in your ways. So in every conversation that you have to be forward thinking, you have to be current, and you have to lead with the relevance of why your experience and your work ethic really make a difference. There are companies out there who realize that diversity matters to have a successful team. And diversity is not just age. Diversity is not just gender or ethnicity. It is also age. When teams have an age deal going on where there's people who are older and younger on the same team, they actually do better because mentorship matters. And this current generation of younger workers in their 20s and 30s, they are so hungry to have real mentors, but nobody is showing them anymore. It used to be in the workplace, somebody would be coming up, they'd be working hard, and someone would tap them on the shoulder and guide them along. Somebody who was a little bit maybe more silver grade. Now, we're not bringing those generations together, so it's not happening. So you have to lead with the relevance of why what you bring to the table won't only help you in that job, but it's going to help the whole company. The second thing that you have to do is you have to realize that relationships matter more than ever. As a keynote speaker, I talk about the fact that human interaction, what I call HI, matters in this AI-driven world. And if you have relationships in an industry, those are valuable, both for yourself looking for a job, but also to your new employer. So you need to make sure that you're positioning yourself as an absolute expert in your field. And there's lots of ways that you can do that. You can write, you can speak, you can use social media, you can use your LinkedIn. But if you're not seen as one of the best experts in the field of what you do, then you're going to have trouble finding that job when you're a little bit older. And then finally, the third tip is you want to show energy, you want to show curiosity, and you want to show flexibility. Because one of the things that people think is, well, you're probably set in your ways. You like to do things a certain way. You want a certain, thing that this company doesn't do. No, you're totally flexible. Make sure that you're showing that childlike wonder where you're curious about the world and you want to make a difference, and show the fact that you are not only curious about how to get results, but you're driven to get results. So if you do those 3 things, you're going to position yourself a little bit better than everybody else who's dealing with that same struggles in the job search right now and in the economy right now. And it doesn't matter what age they are. The person who positions themselves as that expert, who's curious and who is ready to learn and roll up their sleeves and get things done, that's going to be the person who gets hired. Now, the final bonus tip is you absolutely have to be up to speed on all the technology changes that are happening in the world right now with AI. Now, one of the problems is a lot of people our age, in that range of, our 50s and our 60s, we have resisted a little bit of AI, unless you're working in a technology field where it's really prevalent. However, you can't be that person. You have to learn. Now, the great thing is AI itself can teach you how to use AI. If you were to take one weekend, 5-6 hours a day for 2 days, you could get up to speed on everything that's going on right now in how AI is impacting your field, whether you're in marketing, whether you're in finance, whether you're in law. It doesn't matter. AI is having an impact on your world, and AI and quantum computing is just around the corner and other technologies are bubbling up, is going to change the entire workforce. It's going to change our whole society. And if you're not paying attention, if you're not versed on this, you're going to look obsolete. You're going to get left behind. So make sure that if you're not using these tools every day already in your job, that you understand how other people in your industry are using these tools and you want to be one step ahead. Because at the end of the day, a smart employer, a smart leader of a company, they want the best people on their team. And they might be prejudiced that you're not the best person because you're old, but I'll tell you what, if you can have the knowledge of all the cool things that are happening in the world right now, and your experience and your network and a lot of curiosity and drive to get things done, they would be stupid not to want you on their team. And if they're stupid, you don't want to work for them anyway. So thanks for watching this video. I'm trying to do these lives and trying to put more content out there on this whole idea of the fact that if you're in between 50 and 75, you're living in the prime time. There was a study that came out recently that said that we're actually at our cognitive best around the age of 60 when it comes to being able to make decisions, not get too emotional, understand what's going on. Now, one study doesn't, get everybody going like, yay, we like the 60-year-olds. However, embrace that. Realize that if you're in that, it is your prime time. You're in the best time of your life. And join me in this whole effort to make age 50 to 75 the best years of your life. I'm trying, and I'll be honest, total transparency, I have some like really big valleys going on the last 10 years. However, I also have some high highs, and I'm super optimistic about what the next 15 years hold, because I think it's going to be awesome to watch the world go through these changes and get to do it from this side. I don't know. What do you think? Leave a comment. Let me know. I look forward to talking to you.